Hi, and welcome to How to Capture and Convert Online Leads into Sales Ready Prospects. This is Rick Storley from New Home Sales Coach, and this is the final wrap up webinar from our International Builders Show program called No Model, No Problem Strategies to Growing Your Business Virtually. Again, my name is Rick Storley. This is a recording after the original webinar was presented because the file that we recorded in was corrupt. So Greg was with me on the original webinar, and he will not be on this recording, but there is his contact information if you would like to get a hold of him. I've been helping home builders and remodelers reach their sales goals since 1992. And I do this through a 5-step functional sales system that I developed that is powered by what's called web marketing automation. And the specific system that I use is called Ubix. So over the last 22 years, I've worked as both a carpenter, salesperson, sales and marketing manager, and a general manager for medium and small volume home builders and remodelers. And then since about 2004, I've exclusively focused on the design, build, marketing end of things, which also includes advertising and sales strategies. So besides moderating today's program, I'm going to be providing some perspective as a sales and marketing manager for several design, build, home builder, and remodeling clients around the country. Now, please make a note. I do have a resource guide and the copy of these slides. If you look right below this recording, this video, you will see a link where you can download both of those, and I strongly encourage you to do so. So let's get right into it and look at the key ingredient that your business is potentially missing today. I spoke a lot about the Amazon versus Best Buy business models at the International Builders Show, and I'm not so much going to go into that today, but the question I want to ask you is what business model are you following? One that's slowly eroding or one with unlimited future growth potential? If you look at Amazon.com, they've got no retail location, yet they're everywhere, and there's no store hours, yet they're always open, and there's no inventory, yet they grow monthly. So we all know where buyers start, right? They're starting online, and of course that's where Amazon has their business model built. So the key ingredient you're missing, might be your share of your local virtual marketplace. Now, I'd like to ask a question here in a poll, and I'm not going to launch a formal poll, but just as a question internally is, are you sourcing 25% or more of your sales from your blog, social media, or website? When we launched this poll on the webinar, we found out that it was roughly 40% of people were hitting this number, and about 60% were not. And what I'd like to see is have that flipped. I have clients that are ranging at a minimum of 25% of their sales are coming from their virtual market, and up to about 80-85% of their sales from their virtual market. So a couple of learning outcomes for today. I want to really answer the question is, how do you capture online leads? How do you create value for your services before you ever meet or talk to your leads and prospects? And finally, how do you convert online leads into on-site prospects? I talked a lot about functional medicine at the International Builders Show in our Encore webinar in February. And functional medicine simply takes a holistic approach to treatment versus treating the symptoms. So today, I want to do the same thing with your sales process. And that's really the whole idea behind my functional sales process. Instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on an antiquated sales system, I'm going to show you examples of what custom builders and design build remodelers are doing to tap into their local virtual markets. Now, before we jump into that, let's just get one thing clear here. If there's no value for your services, you do not get a sale. If you look at value as an equation, value is simply price performance divided by quality perception. When those two are equal, you get a sale. When the focus is on price performance, as many of your prospects are, no sale is made. This, in my humble opinion, is typically the number one issue in housing today. How do we get a value for our services, and how do we become a unique, special, and different in the eyes of our prospects instead of being commoditized and looked at us as simply price and product? So if your product in this equation perceives your price as being greater than the value that they're going to receive in return, their quality perception, no sale is made. Now conversely, If your quality perception, or what they perceive to be your quality perception, is greater than or equal to the price you're asking, you're going to make a sale. Very important you write this down. Value is created online and confirmed on site. So if you get nothing more than what from watching this video today, you should understand that it's created online and confirmed on site. Now, my functional sales system, like functional medicine, is all about taking a holistic approach to your sales process that does the following. So you generate a steady stream of leads. That's step number one. Secondly, we create value for your company before you ever talk to your prospects. It's very, very important. Technology is used, web marketing automation specifically, and it filters out leads that are most likely to buy from you and then alerts you as a salesperson of who you should be following up with. Then your sales presentation is tailored and personalized based on what's most important to your prospect. And then, of course, we track and measure sales performance and return on investment, creating metrics to run your business with and improving your processes every month. It's a holistic approach to your sales. Let's take a look at your virtual marketplace. This is what we would call a web marketing plan. Now, in March at a webinar that Greg put on, he talked about your website, search engine marketing, and the importance of reactive design for mobile applications. Scott then came back in April and he talked about blogging and social media. So today I'm going to focus on online lead generation, web marketing automation software, and then converting online leads into on-site prospects. So maybe you all listening have heard of the analogy is that your website is like your virtual model home or showroom. And as I was thinking about this analogy, I asked myself these questions. Well, does a builder build the model themselves, or do they subcontract a lot of the work? And of course, the answer is most of the work in your model homes is subcontracted. So when the model is completed, does the builder pay people to clean and maintain it? The answer is yes. Does the builder pay for utilities, insurance, or other real estate taxes each month? Of course, the answer is yes, yes, and yes. So what I'm getting at here is that you as a builder, you need to be budgeting for building and maintaining your virtual market. So just like your model homes are sold and rebuilt, websites, social media, blogs, lead generation programs need constant attention and content by professionals to make them work at their peak. You'd never attempt to build the entire model home by yourself, doing all the work. So don't attempt to do the same here, and make sure that you budget money each month to maintain it. That's a word to the wise. There are 4 challenges to capturing and converting online leads into on-site prospects. And so the first challenge is, how do you generate a lead from somebody who's not ready to buy? It's a pretty interesting question, isn't it? Well, it all starts with relevant content on your virtual market. And what are buyers looking for online? I find that there are 3 primary things that they're looking for, and then the 4th would be your blog, depending on what content you have that. So let's begin with design ideas. Design ideas would relate to specifically photo galleries, and make sure you have professional photographs of your projects on your website. And then floor plans are very, very important. I like this look right here for this website on the floor plan, where you've incorporated photos along with some of the specifications, along with the actual floor plans themselves. Now, when it gets to locations, that's the second thing people are looking for. I like to use not only written locations, you need that for SEO, but also a Google map. And then finally, available homes. Available homes are used to help guide people in pricing. And so it's very, very important that you have available homes showing what your entry level to your upper end breadth of offering are. And if you're a custom builder and you don't build inventory homes, you can put to be builts on here. That'll work just fine. Now let's take a look at the 3 different types of lead capture. First, we start off with is a soft sell. A soft sell is simply a name and an email. So a couple examples here I have is a planning guide. My clients, I write a planning guide for them where their prospects and leads can download their expertise in the form of an electronic book. That's going to get you a name and an email. Other ideas would be enhanced design library, a lot report. Could be a quiz or fun quiz that will tell them more about what they're looking for in a home. For remodeling, I use sample remodeling costs that I will put on there. All these are just going to generate simply a name and an email. Now, when it comes to a mid-range or a medium lead capture. That's where maybe you're going to get a phone number as well. So this talk to example here is where we'll also get a phone number. And then finally the full contact form on your contact page. Couple of tips for you here is when you are capturing leads, and you're going to use what's called the squeeze page, and you want to put confidence builders on these pages, such as if you are a member of the Better Business Bureau, if you've won awards for your Home Builders Association, if you use third-party review sites like Guild Quality here, put testimonials from your clients on these pages. All that will help improve your conversion rates. So the second challenge is how do you create value for your company before you're able to talk or meet them. I use what's called an automated nurturing campaign. So what do buyers need to know before they can make a well-informed choice? So as I mentioned before, in the planning guide ebook, what I do is we'll send out one chapter per week of this ebook. There's about 25 different chapters on here, and we'll educate people on design, on pricing, on location, and choosing a builder. So what this does is position you as a local expert and the top resource in your local marketplace. Once somebody clicks on the link in the email, they're taken to a resource page here, and then you can fill your website full of resources to all these people that have opted in. And what that will do is it'll create a be-back lead. They'll keep coming back to your website again and again and again. And through the process of doing that and looking at all this relevant content that you have on your website, you will then start to establish value for your services. You'll also establish trust. They'll see that you the services that you offer are quite unique, and they will feel like they're getting to know you. So when they do finally pick up the phone or walk into your model home, then that much easier to convert from a lead to a prospect and ultimately a buyer. Now, challenge number 3 is how do you know what leads are most likely to buy from you? This is a filtering process, and this is where we use a technology called web marketing automation. Now, here's what's important to note is that if you have 100 leads in your database, only about 5 to 7% are active at any one time. So it's a sobering thought that 93 to 95 of them aren't really engaged in you at any one time. So what web marketing automation does is it filters out all the bad leads, and it will then show you who are the good leads. So this is an example of a dashboard we see in the bottom here in red. And the dashboard shows when my clients log into their web marketing automation, it'll show them what sales opportunities they have. And what we're focusing on here is the 5 to 7% of leads most engaged. So what are we tracking? We're going to track email, we're going to track website, we're going to track be-backs. We want to see how many people are coming back to the website time and time again. Now on an email, we will track the open rate, the click-through rate, if they're responding, filling out forms on your website. On a website, we'll track when they visited your website, what they looked at, and how long they were there. And then what the sales funnel does is it takes all these opportunities and rolls them up, and will show you what percentage has been followed up with and what percentage have not. So here's the opportunities, and now you need to follow up with them. Now from a sales management aspect, now I can see all the different salespeople that are assigned to my leads, and I can see are these salespeople doing their job and following up with them. And if someone is not doing their job, or I want to assign specific leads to specific salespeople, I will then pick and choose that here as well. The fourth challenge is how do you convert online leads into sales-ready on-site prospects? So there's really 4 ways to do this. So first, you can automate the process. So when somebody comes into your website, they fill out a form, they're going to automatically go into your nurturing program. And every call to action in your nurturing program can drive them back to a page like this. Let them schedule themselves for when they want to talk to you and what they want to discuss with you. So automating is the first way. The second way to do it is where you go back and look at, okay, what are these people looking at? What are their interests? I'm using my web marketing automation now. So I'm looking at what pages are they looking at my website. Any time that I see usually 1 to 2 minutes or more on a specific page, what that means is I pretty much determine their interest. So in this case, the interest is based on location. So now when I send them an email, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use location as the interest. So let's talk a little bit more about emailing. When you email someone, you need to make sure you're following a specific formula. I call this the AIDAT formula. So I grab their attention, I build interest, which I just showed you. We're determining the interest through web marketing automation. I create desire, and then I ask them to take some sort of action. And the T is simply just thanking them for engaging me. So here's an example of what that email might look like. The attention is in my subject line. I always like to put my lead or prospect's first name in the subject line because a lot of people will filter their emails through their phone or through their preview pane in their email system, either Outlook or perhaps their webmail. And so I want their name to be drawn, or their eyes drawn to their name. So then I will build interest by figuring out, okay, now I know that they're interested in, say, locations in this particular example. So I'll say something like this, that one of our most popular home designs under construction in Spring Meadows, remember, was the area they were spending a lot of time at. So I will mention that neighborhood. I then need to create desire. So I'm going to say, well, you know what, you can come see this home, but it's not open to the public. I'm going to show it to a few people on Saturday. So now I've got urgency. I'll also have information on Spring Meadows home sites. Hey, ding, 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 that's what they were interested in. Would you like to stop by and see the home and neighborhood? Okay, so that's the question, as completing the desire part of the formula. Then finally, the action needs to be singular and it needs to be specific. Reply to the email. That's it. And then simply a thank you. And with a thank you, with a valediction, I like to make a note of what we need to do next. So we're going to go from email to talking on the phone. So that would be my email formula. Now, once I get them on the phone, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to qualify them using the 7 areas of qualification. So location through hot buttons here. And the hot buttons part of it is very important. So I'm going to make sure I understand what are the 3 things that are most important to this type of prospect. So when I talk to them on the phone, I'll simply get their attention again. I will build their interest. I will create desire. I ask them to take action. And that action would be, what is the next step in my sales process, assuming they are a viable prospect. And of course, I'll thank them for their time that they shared with me. So the 4th way to convert an online lead to an on-site prospect is with events. And I recommend that you host at least one special event per month. There's a list here of types of events that you could host. The one that works the best is where you would do a custom open house. So one of your customers' open houses when it's completed, but they have not yet moved in and closed on it, or a remodeling project that's been completed. So this is an example here of an event management system that we designed through the web marketing automation that automates this process of putting on events. Hey, that's it today for the video. Thanks so much for watching and joining us. Make sure you download the resource guide and the copy of the slides right below this. And if you'd like any more information on web marketing automation or my functional sales system, here's my contact information. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.